show you several really good warm-up exercises. So these exercises are great for warming up before doing a sketching session, but are also really helpful in general for improving your coordination and your ability to draw specific types of lines. So let's begin with the suns exercise or the ray exercise. And I'll be using a pen for this just for clarity's sake so you can clearly see what I'm doing. But you can do this with anything and of course with pencil too. For the most part, I think you will find yourself doing this more with a pencil than a pen. So what this exercise entails is it's very simple. First, what you do is you draw a dot somewhere on the paper, and then you just start pulling out rays out of it in all different directions. Now, the idea of this exercise is some lines are easier to draw due to the direction of your wrist, stuff like that. So many times you may find yourself drawing the paper in order to match the angle that you need. But this exercise, what it does is actually work on those difficult directions. So you're not moving the paper, you're simply drawing. And you see my lines here aren't perfect because it's not the ideal direction. But if I pull a line like that, it's much easier for me because it isn't the ideal direction. So this is basically all there is to it. Let me zoom in and show you another one. So yeah, once again, just doing a little dot or even a circle and just starting to pull random lines out of it. You can do this organized, like actually go like that. That's fine too. Whatever you feel like exercises you the most. I like this way as well, to just do this clockwise or even counterclockwise, doesn't really matter. And the more you do that exercise, the more you'll feel like you've warmed up to actually do a sketch that's more full, and suddenly lines that you found challenging to do are becoming much easier. Let me show you one just with pencil, just for example, for the example's sake. So drawing a dot again, and just starting to pull lines out of it. See, it works the exact same way with a pencil. It may be a bit easier with the pencil because you have more friction with the paper, and so it's kind of easier to be more accurate. Or you may find that with pen you're more accurate. It's all good. The purpose here is to actually do the exercise. It's really not about the result. I mean, look at that. So let's go back to the pen here. And I'll do just one final sun here. And this is really good. Sometimes you'll find yourself sort of, even when you're more advanced and you're suddenly going to feel like your lines just aren't working, even when you're like really good or you become really proficient. And then you'll remember this exercise and you'll think to yourself, hey, I should probably try to do this. And it will help you. It helps in all levels. So now that we have an army of suns here, we can go ahead and move to the next exercise, which will be circles. Now, this is it's circles and ovals. This is an exercise you can do in many different ways. What I like to do is actually wrap it around the first one. So the first exercise, the suns. So what I'll do is just start drawing circles around the focal point of the sun. And I'll try to make them as perfect as possible. And of course they won't be super perfect, but I try to make them somewhat perfect. And the reason why this is such a good combination is because you get sort of instant feedback. Because you have all those lines, you'll find that it's a bit simpler to draw those circles around them. Because you have this sort of guiding system that tells you if you're too far away or too close, or the circle is not really circular. And you can combine it with ovals. So what I'll do is do the exact same thing, only with an oval, like that. And keep it in the same direction. Try to have the ovals parallel to each other, sort of, like that. See this? and you can then fit in some more ovals in between them, and you will feel how this helps you so much to loosen up. And I right now I actually feel like I want to dump the exercise and start drawing because it works so well. The nice thing about this exercise though is you really don't have to do this together with the suns. You can just decide to do it. Let's say I'll take this spot here and I'll just start doing the exact same thing, just drawing circles one inside the other. And you can vary it. You can start with a larger circle and then go back inside. I'm using a textured paper, which is really nice. I like the texture. But you can do this on any type of paper, of course. And so, and you can go ahead and try to do ovals and then combine them with circles. And this is an exercise, so you have freedom. The very basic one though is to just do the rays and then do the circles around them. Really good, really helpful. I like both exercises together. You can even try and reverse it and go first with the circles and then with the rays. And then you also feel like you have more of a circle around them that limits your the length of the lines and helps you keep it more proportional. It's all really good. It's a great exercise. So far we've seen the suns and the ovals and circles. Next I want to do something else, which is the parallel lines. This is the third and last warm-up exercise I will teach you. And the parallel lines is a very nice exercise because it works on your coordination really well. And it actually directly translates to drawing, sketching, whatever. So the way to do this exercise is simply to start drawing lines that are parallel to one another. This is basically called hatching, and it's a technique to shade. You may have noticed me using it on the toilet paper earlier. So hatching, and once you do another layer above it, it's called cross hatching. So let me just turn the paper so you can see my hand drawing the lines. You see? And here this technique is less about the controlling direction. It's more about the precision and control of doing parallel lines. So it is okay to turn the paper. You can practice in whichever way you want. You can try and do them like this against the ideal movement of the arm, which is like this. So this is the ideal direction. But if you go like this, it's less ideal. You can try and go against it. It's totally fine if you want to try to work on that, but you don't have to. The point of this exercise is to actually go with the natural wrist movement of the hand and just practice on being accurate in the spaces between the lines. Okay, and this is really fun. You can fill in whole pages with it. You can try and vary the length. You can try doing a lot of things. You can just draw a cube or a simple shape, and if you want to, and sort of shade that in using that very same cross-hatching technique, like that. Create some shadows, add an extra layer, whatever you want, but you really don't have to. All you need to do, like basically in this exercise, is just draw parallel lines, add maybe a second layer if you want, add maybe a third layer, whatever it is. Don't add any layers at all. So just to conclude the three exercises we had. So first we had the suns, second we had the circles, and third we had the hatching. So in this lesson I want to show you a